I wanted to ask you first though about last night because Chelsea end Tottenham's unbeaten run, but I have to say it was maybe one of the most enthralling, crazy, event-filled games, maybe the most because of VAR. I've never seen a game like it. 2 blatant red cards not given, 2 additional red cards to the same players gone. Spurs on fire to begin with. They end up losing 4-1, could have been 9-1. High lines on the halfway line with 9 men. Talk to me about last night's game because Spurs' unbeaten run comes to an end. And they also, to add insult to injury, they lose their best 3 players of the season so far, probably barring Son, at least for 3 games, if not more as a collective. Talk to me, Mr. Gunner.
Yeah, Maddison off, Van der Ven done his hamstring, Basuma suspended, 5 bookings, 2 red cards, 21 minutes of stoppage time over 2 halves. That game was crazy, I can't lie. That was probably the most entertaining football match I've watched for a long, long time. And it was great that it weren't my club involved. Honestly. Yeah, I was just sitting there thinking, this lot can't finish their chances. Yeah, the goalkeeper kept running out at any point. I'm thinking if they just get a toe on one of them, he's getting a red. Or if the player's late, he's getting injured. And mate, it was crazy. Spurs started off really well. First 15, 20 minutes, Son had a goal disallowed. What a finish that was, by the way.
Mate, there was 5 goals disallowed last night. 5.
But you know what? I think they got everything spot on last night. Yeah, people are crying about VAR this and VAR that. I actually think they got everything spot on. Maybe the potential red cards before the red cards actually happened. But I think Adogi's one, I'm not convinced that was a red card. He got the ball. It weren't. Yes, his studs were up on his left foot, but it weren't like he went in with a load of force on that. Yeah, so I can kind of see why they didn't give a red on that. The Romero one, it would have been soft, but how many times have you seen a player lash out at someone and get sent off? So I don't know. I can kind of see why he didn't go off for that, but that guy was playing like a man possessed anyway. It was only a matter of time before he was getting a red card anyway.
His performance, just on him, Romero is one of the dumbest performances I've ever seen in my life. Your team's on fire. At that point, because you were 1-0 up, you're top of the league, Chelsea looked like a rabbit in headlights. The shape was all over the place. There was no need for any of that behavior from Romero. Even his tackle that he got sent off for, you don't need to be that excessive. And we know in the 80s and the 90s, that's not a red card. But for the past 15 or so years, you win the ball, but follow through that high on a shin with your studs, more likely than not, you're going to go. I couldn't believe what I saw from Romero as an experienced World Cup winning centre-back to drop a ridiculously aggressive performance like that.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. It was funny to witness, though. Me and Henry Wright had a bet that he now has to do the 1-chip challenge. And he had a bet with somebody else last night and he lost that one because he said Chelsea wouldn't get anything. So now he has to do it in an Arsenal shirt.
No.
He never learns. He said Arsenal would lose a home game before Spurs. Yeah, that went well, didn't it? And the funniest thing is, like you said at the start, that could have been 9-1. But that ain't even exaggerating. 9-1. The amount of times they got clean through, Cucurella clean through. Some of the passes, Mudryk had one, and Jackson put it over the bar. Like some of the passes just didn't have enough weight on them. Right? Otherwise, they could have literally had 9. That ain't even it's weird.
What did you make of the high line with 10 men and 9 men approach? Because a lot of people in the media pundits, Sky Sports, are praising it as brave, innovative, game changing.
Of course they are. They have to have one that they gas up every year. Last year it was De Zerbi. Now he's fallen off a cliff. This year it's Ange. Yeah, every year they have to have a hipster, don't they? Yeah, like I said, when he got that job, I said he'll do all right, and they'll batter a couple of teams, but they'll get battered a few times. Now, I've watched enough of Celtic over the last few years. My mates are at the game tonight in Madrid to watch Celtic, so I've seen enough of Celtic over the last 4 years to know that they will get battered a couple of times with the way he plays. Yeah, I didn't expect it to be Chelsea, to be honest. But again, Chelsea have created a lot of chances this season and just ain't buried them, and I can see why. Yeah, they haven't got a competent winger that can deliver a proper pass. Yeah, Cole Palmer played all right. Yeah, I thought Sterling was probably their best player until they moved him out onto the right wing. Didn't really affect the game out there. I know he set a goal up and that, but I thought that on the left wing, he was he was getting in time after time after time down the left, and they switched him and put Mudryk on. And oh my days, that guy ain't a footballer, mate. Yeah,
I think we talked. Sava came on the show last night after the game, and he was talking a lot of sense. And I was thinking back to a lot of games Spurs have had this year: Palace, Luton in the second half, Man United. The Man United game is really an interesting one. We for the first 45 minutes, we should have gone in at halftime 3-0 up. If we finished that dinner and got the penalty, we're 3-0 up. There's been a number of teams that have opened up Spurs in periods in games. Spurs have also been good in periods in games, and I think they've been valued for being top of the league. They've been one of the best teams in the league this year. But I do think Spurs fans have been gaslit. They've been gaslit into believing that they were playing at an invincible level where they were barely being penetrated, and they were consistently nearly scoring. It has been a little bit Bielsa-esque, but I think better because I was never a fan of Bielsa. I thought he was one of the most overrated managers. At least with De Zerbi and these guys, they were punching above their weight in terms of league position. But De Zerbi was near the relegation zone, and everyone was saying he's an amazing manager. It made no sense to me, and I think Big Andrew's potentially better than that. But the way I saw it being, I got dragged in. I was enjoying the game at home last night, but it was enjoyable because it was weird. And every time Chelsea didn't score when it was 1-1, I kind of cheered for Tottenham because I thought this will be hilarious.
I was doing it the other way around. I was like, come on, you need to score, man. Please score. Like, come on. Yeah, just score. But eventually you can't keep playing with 9 men and playing on the halfway line with players that are rapid running off the back of you, and you're just standing watching. Eventually you will get caught. Right. And we did it against you at Old Trafford last season. Now, I know we had 11 against 11, but you can't keep playing high line when you've got wingers that are rapid, Sterling, Mudryk, players like that. Yeah, Jackson's not the quickest, but no, if that was, let's say if that was Sterling running clean through on the Cucurella chance, that's in the back of the net. Yeah, and I don't really rate Sterling that highly. None of the big chances like that, the one-on-one chances, fell to Sterling. Yeah, and it was so jarring watching it because I was like, just score against this stuff, for God's sake. But the capitulation was hilarious, I can't lie. And you got all their fans coming out the ground going, we were proud. We fought till the end. Like even Tottenham tweeted it with the little hand emoji that's cupping into a heart. We fought till the end. Well, you're supposed to fight to the end. Yeah, this lot are so in their feelings, man. I've seen a couple of TalkSport clips where their fans are going, "Oh, VAR disgrace! It robbed us." Well, what did you watch, mate?
Bro, I've been honest with you. The only thing I've disagreed with you've said so far is I felt that Udogi's was a red. He didn't make contact with a player, but it was. I don't know when this rule changed, but it was 2-footed. It was down. I think he should have gone personally. It wasn't a hard kick from Romero, but you can't kick out or strike people in the face. I thought they were very lucky to still have both players on the pitch. Maybe one, because they can often, sometimes referees are a little bit more lenient when one player's already been sent off, but they were lucky in
that regard. I would probably have said that Udogi's tackle would have wanted a red more than Romero's.
I agree. But the biggest controversy...
But then the two that ended up... Sorry. It's the same people. It's like, don't you learn?
Mate, it's crazy. The manager didn't take off.
How are you going into a tackle in the penalty box, that rough and tough, right? And then you'll follow through it. And it was a standing leg as well.
Well, do you know what's funny about it? I've had a lot of people say to me, well, what's he meant to do, Terry? Like, he didn't mean to catch his leg. I'm like, see, this is where people don't understand not just the law, but why the law's in place. What Romero's meant to do in that situation is not make the tackle. If you can't tackle somebody without excessive force, you're not meant to make the tackle. The reason that he had to tackle him that hard is because of the distance proximity, and he would have been beaten. So if he doesn't go in with that much power, he can't get to the ball first. But that much power is excessive force, which then makes it dangerous because he could have snapped his leg in half. And that's the one thing I say about football fans. It shouldn't take someone's leg breaking to go, that was a bad tackle. It's like the Udogi one. I don't think he even needs to make contact for it to be a red. It's the fact that if he does make contact, all your weight's going through Sterling's leg. It's gone. But the biggest mistake VAR made yesterday, I say mistake, I can understand why it's offside, but inconsistency has not been discussed. It was the offside of Jackson for the Caicedo strike. And I'll tell you as to why. Because we have seen many goals this season where players have been in the goalkeeper's eye line when shots have happened, and offside's not even been checked. But then last night, there's that much distance, and suddenly they're saying that's offside. That, for me, was one of the most controversial moments of the night. But because there was a red card that followed and a penalty and a goal, it's being brushed under the carpet.
I mean, look how tight that offside is, by the way.
Yeah, look how tight that is. And you know what's really funny about this one? People have sent me pictures because when this ball was struck, Onana actually can see where the player is. But the irony in it is that he has to move his position out the way of the guy that's offside to see, and then the ball goes exactly where he was standing. So if the player wasn't standing there
anyway, Terry, let's just
no, maybe not. It was awful back then. But you get my point. For Spurs to complain about VAR when I felt that up until that red card of Romero, they were catching life. Both the red cards they eventually got were red cards. Adoji's booked, and then he makes that stupid tackle. But he only makes that tackle because Big Ange is exploiting them. And I get why they're proud of the players that stayed on the pitch because they fought hard. But they should be fuming with Big Ange. They should be fuming with Romero.
Yeah, they should be fighting hard. Oh, we fought till the end. We're proud of our team. Absolute wasters. No wonder that club ain't won nothing for 16 years. The only person who's sitting there smiling, laughing his nuts off, is Daniel Levy yet again. They're all coming out the stadium crying to TalkSport. Oh, we're robbed. Oh, we're proud of our team. These idiots, man. I swear, absolutely shambolic. Yeah, and they should have been sat there kicking off about their manager playing a high line. But they don't want to do that. Yeah, because, we're just enjoying the vibes in the stadium. We all stayed till the end. You're supposed to stay to the end. Come on.
Yeah.
What's going on here? Then you got their goalkeeper saying, the fans stayed until the 94th or 98th minute. They clapped us. Like, no wonder they've signed these people. They're serial losers, mate. A lot of them. Yeah, they might look good here and there. They ain't winning nothing. I've said it all season. They'll play pretty football here and there. They'll pop a few teams and they'll get popped a few times.
Do you think they'll full on collapse now that?
They're in trouble now because their next 3 games are not easy. I think they've got Wolves, Villa, and City. No Maddison. Yeah, that hamstring on Van der Ven looks like that's going to be at least 6 weeks. Yeah, he was running full pelt when he did that. Yeah, and he could barely walk. Yeah, so that looks like it's a harsh one. Yeah, and then Basuma's out for 1, Romero's out for 3, and Adoji's out for 1. Yeah, to be fair, I thought Dyer, mate, what a goal that would have been, by the way.
By the way, but I will say this. Someone has showed me a super slow-mo of the header. It didn't come off the Spurs player's head. It comes off Thiago Silva.
Maybe they were all right coming out the stadium then. VAR robbed us. Maybe they did get robbed.
Someone actually sent it to me. I'll try it. It's hard to play because obviously sometimes I wish we could just play like if they let you play up to like a minute of Premier League footage without being copyrighted. It would make content just that little bit easier, if that makes sense.
You can't on YouTube. It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, but bro, honestly, like this video clip, legit. I'm looking at it again now. I'll send it to you. But you can just tell, by the way, with when it goes past Bentancur's head, it doesn't go up off his head. It goes past his head and then goes back behind him where Thiago's and then goes up in the air. But that's super slow-mo. But I say there was one funny, but with Vicky van der Ven out, they're in trouble. But it was a funny moment from last night. Again, I love this stuff. You might have seen this already, Pil, but Lee, take a little listen to this to X. This is amazing.
Blood. What about this brother that you were telling me? You said we don't need Osimhen. We got Nicholas Jackson, fam. Bro, there's more chance of Michael Jackson scoring a hat-trick than him, blood. You know what I'm way there. He's a scrub as well, blood. Waxing. You know what I mean? I ain't scared of him. Bro, you know what makes me...
It's the whole...
He's had a shocker with that, isn't he?
Do you know, I love X, but you know...
What are the odds on him turning up and scoring that trick?
I know. Someone sent that to me and said, bro, you got to look at this. And you know, sometimes you just laugh and you just I laugh probably for 5 minutes straight, just laughing, thinking to myself... not only did the Michael Jackson's got more chance of getting a hat-trick, the man actually got a hat-trick after having 3 of the worst misses of the season, still got a hat-trick.
You could have had, that header. He should have buried the header. He had another one. He had a goal disallowed. It's funny. Somebody put in my comments where I did a watch-along for that game last night. I'm buzzing I picked that game, though. I can't lie. Yeah, hopefully Atleti Celtic put on a show tonight. Yeah, but when I was doing that, somebody put in, if only he'd buried a couple of them chances, it could have been Jackson 5. The headlines would have been written.
Yeah, that was a great headline.
That was a crazy game, man. But let's be real. Chelsea deserved to win. Yeah, but they're a poor team in terms of chance, finishing their chances. They need a winger that has a bit of subtlety on the ball. Yeah, the amount of times they put that ball down the wing or over the top and it had a bit too much or a bit too less on it. If they can get a quality winger and go and get somebody that can bag goals, then they'll fly up the table. And it's not just off of that game. They've created a lot of chances in the games I've seen them this season. That Jackson just miss after miss, Mudryk miss after miss, Sterling's missed a few. Like it's crazy. Yeah, and then you look at Tottenham and you think, right, okay, cool. You got a great starting 11. It looks all right on paper, doesn't it? Well, now you've without 5 of them for the next game. Yeah, and some of them for the next 3 or 4 or 5. So yeah, they're kind of the gap between them two will go like that real soon.
Yeah, look, Spurs. I still think Spurs can make the top 4. It just depends how long the Maddison and Van der Ven injuries are. I mean, if
I'd say I'd have a guess. I'd say Van der Ven will be out for about 2 to 3 months.
Yeah,
because the way he did that, like, and I'll be honest, I started chuckling at the time because I thought, oh yeah, he's just falling over, wasting time or something. Yeah, but and then when I see it in the replay, I was like, wow, that actually looks nasty. Because when I don't know if you've ever done a hamstring, but when I've not done it to a bad level, but even walking up the stairs now, I pull a hamstring. Do you know what I mean?
Bro, do you know what? I've never actually done it in sport. I haven't done it since I've been older. When I was about 16, my little brother said something to me in the school playground and wound me up. So I ran after him and I was halfway through running and it went and I had this pain and it made me trip up. Like my leg went all up in the air like I was a scorpion and I felt it was crazy. I couldn't put it down. The pain was mad.
He did that running and he's quick, that defender.
Oh, yeah, that's gone. That's completely gone.
Yeah, that's a bad one, mate. I don't know how serious. I don't know if they've come out and mentioned anything about it today, but I'd imagine he'd be out for about 2, 3, 4 months. Because I thought, fair enough, he's done his hamstring, that'll be a little 2 to 4 weeker. Yeah, but then when I see the replay, I was like, wow, yeah, that don't look good. Yeah, and he's been brilliant for them so far.
He's been great.